Hello, fellow campers. I'm Wanda.
And I'm Ricky.
And we are
Tennessee Camping Nerds.
And today we're going to be bringing you a review of Cedar Creek Campground. It is an Army Corp of Engineers campground. It's in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And it is on the Old Hickory Lake. And we'll just show you a video that we took of the park. We've actually got two videos this time. This is approaching the entrance of the park. We like this park. It's close to home, and it is it's very level. Makes it great for riding your bicycle.
You just about see the lake from any spot.
Yeah, it's got a lot of spots that have good lake views, which is great. This is coming into the park. On this first drive through, we will be showing the right side of the road, and we'll not be going into any of the circles or the loops. And then I'll show a second video where we actually go into the loops and show the left side of the road. This campground is great because it's the spots are very well spaced. You don't feel like you're right in anyone else's backyard.
It was a beautiful day that day we took this
video.
It
was. It was a great day. But we'll make a complete circle through the campgrounds here. Driving past the different loops or circles that are in the campground.
And in this campground, I like to ride my Riker. I'll take it to the campground and we ride around the area.
You can see as you're coming around, you can see the lake, a very wide view of the lake. At this point, we're going back to the right, which is up this direction is the bigger bathhouse, the newer bathhouse, and also the dump station.
What's great about the bathhouse is that you can save and conserve water and take a shower together.
Yes, this newer bathhouse, each restroom has a separate, it has its own toilet and shower, so you could go in there together. It makes it great for, like, if a parent has to take an opposite sex child, a little toddler, into the shower. You can do that without him feel like you're bringing them into shower with other people. But the other bathhouse, the older one, it has a women's shower and restroom stalls and a men's showers and restroom stalls. Then on the back side there, I think there's an entrance there where I might be thinking about Cage's Bend.
Yeah, I know about.
But anyway, there's two, men's and women's there. But on the newer one that we just passed, you do have
Just like, what is it, 8
separate restrooms. Yeah, I think so. Now, as you see here, this is the inside of the first loop around. On the right side is the lake. You can't see that, but all these sites have a great view of the lake. But those sites right there along that side are a very sharp entrance into those sites to back into them, and the roadway is very narrow. So unless you have a small camper, I would recommend not staying in those sites that are not against the lakeside, but are facing the lakeside on that wide loop. They are just very narrow. We see a lot of people really struggle and have to run their trucks off the side of the road in order to get their campers backed into those sites. But the rest of them are really great. I will put in the notes section the numbers of those sites that are difficult to get in. So you may want to look at that if you have a very long trailer. Now this next video is just outside the campground, and it's in the same park area. But this is going down that roadway that if you pass up the entrance. In this area, they have a beach volleyball. They have a nice playground. They have a roped off beach area for swimming. They also have a pretty good sized boat dock. Be sure that when you go into this area that you've got your parking pass in your window, and they will not charge you anything to go in there. But if you don't stay at the campground, can't show that proof that you're staying at the campground, I think the charge is like $3 a carload, something like that, to go in there to spend the day. But as long as you've got your parking pass, you get in this section for free. And there's lots of parking area. We'll go on around and show you. You can see just across the road there's the campground. But we'll circle on down around and show you the large boat dock that there is down here. This campground has 59 sites. They're all have up to 50 amp electric. There are no sewer sites, so none of them have full hookups at this particular campground. That's pretty common for the Nashville area Army Corps sites, but they do not have any sewer hookups. They do have a good station where you can empty your tanks, but this particular campground, one of the negatives is they don't have a lot of water pressure at the dump station. They have plenty of water pressure at the campsites, but something I've always complained about is the lack of really strong water pressure. So if you have one of those water flush hookups where you can flush your tank out, you're not going to get a lot of pressure with that, which is disappointing. But it helps, but it's just not very, very strong. There's no sites on here that are marked as handicapped accessible, but I think that most all of them would be easily accessible if you were wheelchair bound. Each site has a fire pit, a picnic table, and a grill.
Now we're going back in.
All right, yes, we're going back into the campgrounds now. And this time we will be actually going through each of the loops. This first loop or circle to the left is probably the least desirable as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Because it's not very shady. A lot of the sites, it has direct sun at all times, which is, not desirable. And so you'll see this first loop, you'll probably have a little bit easier time actually booking a site. This, like almost all the Army Corp of Engineer places, if you want to get a good site, your choice of sites, you're probably going to need to book it 6 months out. Sometimes you can find where someone's just canceled a good site and you can grab it. But I think those, especially those lakefront sites, people are booking those things at midnight or 6 months out to grab them. But this is that first loop. And you can see as you go around these circles, as you go back around, as you're heading back out, your camper will be facing, the back side of your camper will be facing the lake, which is disappointing. To be able to sit out in front of your camper, you won't be able to be actually looking at the lake over the horizon there. So that's something to keep in mind too. There are 5 of the sites that are considered waterfront, but there are almost all the sites that are across the road from the waterfront sites. You get a great view of the lake, and you don't have to pay that extra fee.
Yeah, that's the spaces on the left side of the road.
Mm-hmm. And we're going, we went to the first circle on the left and then to the first circle on the right. And I think this is coming around the first circle on the right here. Coming back out of it. And then we'll be going into the second circle on the left. In just a moment. It was odd that day. The park ranger was going through all the sites and she was going the wrong direction on all the sites. You'll see her. We have to stop and avoid her a couple of times in this while we're driving around. Yeah, we're coming back out of that first loop on the right, and now we're going to be going into the second loop, or the second circle on the left.
We probably stayed in this loop more than any of them.
Yeah. A lot of times people that are staying together in groups, they'll get into one particular loop. See a lot of kids and family playing together in those loops sometimes. But you can see between the campers, you can see the lake view. A lot of these sites, even in this interior loop, you get a really good view of the lake from beside your camper. This 2022 season was from April 14th, and it ends on October 24th. The cost in 2022 are $30 a night, up to $35 a night for the waterfront sites. That may be different next year. We'll update the notes section if the price goes up in 2023. This year, the check-in time is 3 o'clock. The checkout time is 2 o'clock. But starting in the 2023 season, the checkout time will be noon.
I don't see you in this.
You don't see me?
Oh, yeah. The thing's covered.
Yeah.
There you are. I like to see your pretty face.
And is this the third loop? I've lost track. I was looking to the side.
This is the one across the road from second.
Okay, so this is the second loop to the right. You see the bathhouse there back behind it. And this one, some of the sites you can see a little bit of the road. Usually those loops on the right, you don't get as much view of the water as you can on some of the sites on the left. And this is going back now into the third loop on the left, the third circle. And you can see the way that they're angled, and you see that lake over there. You can get a great view of the lake just sitting right outside your camper with no body even blocking it. So that's really nice. If you're like me, I really like to see that water.
This is my father-in-law's probably favorite loop.
Yeah. And now we're coming back out and heading back down toward the lakefront side. You can see the bathhouse there. There are a couple of sites that are back toward the dump station and bathhouse there that you can see there on the right.
These are the best spots here.
Yeah, those lakefront sites, you can see that they're huge. They're a really large area. But like I said, this place is notorious for having some very narrow roads and sometimes a little drop off right next to the entrances.
We just passed my Riker.
Yeah, you can see that there's it just makes it difficult for the people that are backing into those sites there across from these particular lakefront sites. There is no Wi-Fi at this campground, but there is really pretty excellent cell phone coverage. So if you use a mobile hotspot, that works out pretty well.
And one of my favorite restaurants is just down the road.
Yeah, we've done a review.
If you go back, you can look at that review.
Yeah, for the Lucky Rooster.
Rooster.
Yeah, it's right down the road from this campground. We really like that place.
Best blue cheeseburger I ever eat.
And then there's the older, smaller bathhouse that has the women's and men's separate. And then follow that with the dumpster area. And then heading back out of the park. We hope you enjoyed this review. If you've ever stayed at this campground and have a comment that you'd like to leave about it, your thoughts about this campground, we'd like to hear from you. Just make a comment down below.
And if you like, subscribe, of this, we would really appreciate it.
Right. Subscribe to our channel. Like our videos and make comments. That's really helpful to us. And you can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TN Camping Nerds. We're also on the web at tncampingnerds.com. And you can also find us on Twitter.
Yep.
It's at TN Camping Nerds. Well, watching this makes me ready to go camping. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go camping.